Hi guys, my name is Adnan Hasbi and I'd like to wish you a warm welcome to this episode. I'm sorry for the small little skit which I made. I guess I just wanted to illustrate a small little point, which is the AirAsia stock managed to appreciate quite significantly during these past couple of days. We shall look at the news flows in terms of headlines. Next, we're going to look at the results. Next, we're going to look at the analyst forecast. And finally, we're going to conclude this particular episode. So let us move to the headlines about this stock right now. Okay, so over here, some of the headlines which was written in newspaper is that AirAsia is confident of posting stronger results with the as international travel is set to resume in the coming months ahead. And another thing which they highlighted in their results is that there's this pent-up demand for traveling. So should the ban be lifted, there's going to be a lot of traveling. And I guess that was very good news to the market. And we could see that the stock price went up. Having said that, however, me being an analyst and all, I tend to always look at numbers. And looking at these quarterly results, we could see that the first thing is that their net loss for this particular quarter was about 1 billion. Yeah, it's 1 billion. The second thing we can see is that their cumulative loss is about 3.2 billion. As I mentioned to you in earlier episodes, we expect, since the planes are not moving around, or since the planes are not moving about, what may happen is that the company still needs to pay for operating costs and whatnot. And as we can see, they made some losses during this particular quarter. And in terms of accumulated losses, it is about 3 billion right now. So right now, after looking at the quarterly results, let us look at the whole analyst industry and let's see what the analysts from the bigger banks are saying about this particular stock. Okay, so over here, we can actually go to the Bursa Marketplace. Over in Bursa Marketplace, we can type the stock name, AirAsia. We can search it over here. And once we already search that particular stock, we can actually see this particular dashboard, right? Over here, I just want to show you, I guess, the important numbers over here. So over here, we can see that the consensus target price, in other words, what many of the analysts are saying about this particular stock, they assume that the intrinsic value for this stock would be 49 cents. And one of the reasons for that is that since the company is not making that much, they kind of forecasted that the stock price should be a bit on the lower end. But having said that, as we saw earlier, the stock price for AirAsia shot up. Okay, so right now to see the details of what the industry is saying, let us go under the Analyst Consensus. Just click this particular tab over here. Once you're at this tab, you can actually see what the overall industry is saying. This is broken down based on a couple of months back. And this is the current call for this particular stock. Over here, most of them, in fact, I think all of them are saying, maybe maybe stay away from this stock for the time being. Okay, so this is the consensus from the analysts. Some of them say if we have that particular stock, we can hold. But I guess a larger majority of the analysts have the view of either reducing or maybe selling this particular stock. And as I mentioned to you, one of the reasons why is that they assume that this stock should be, I guess, trading at 49 cents. Okay, so what are the main lessons one can learn from, I guess, what has happened? Okay, I think in my earlier episodes, I already highlighted that at this point in time, the market is relatively battered downwards. And if you like that particular stock, look towards, I guess, buying that stock. And what I would suggest is break your investment proportions into 10 small increments. One of the reasons why we cannot time that particular stock. The second thing I want to say is that since there's not much of earnings for this particular stock, some may already view this as relatively speculative. And if you want to buy AirAsia, maybe one of the strategies over here is look at it as a trading stock. So if it hits a particular stock price, sell. If it goes down, buy. If it goes up, sell. If it goes down, buy. And as I mentioned to you, the stock may be relatively volatile within this next couple of months. But having said that, however, I'd like to highlight two things. The first is that AirAsia has a relatively strong management. We did a quick background profile on the founder and how he managed to beat bigger airlines and build AirAsia to one of the more prominent airline globally. That's the first thing. The second thing is that right now with the vaccine coming around the corner, maybe if you want to look at as AirAsia as an investment, it could be relatively attractive. So over here, what I'd like to say is that my view was in line with many of the consensus, whereby we looked at the earnings and the earnings didn't look too promising. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to stay away. And I thought that the stock price would drop. But having said that, the stock price rose. So to conclude, I'm going to say that no one can really time the market. In fact, you can see that I'm one of the worst timers in the world. So I think one of the best ways of doing this, again, break your investments into smaller increments. Should you want to trade on this particular stock, buy it low, sell it high. So with that, I'd like to thank you so very much for watching this episode. I'm sorry about the small little skit. I hope I didn't scare you too much. And with that, I hope to see you in the next episode.